Hi, I'm Zach. I'm from Ducks Guts Catering and I'm here to show you how to cook for a crowd. Today we're going to cook up some Thai yellow curry. Really straightforward, but as always, once we're getting to those big numbers, just a little bit to juggle. So first things first, always heat on. We're gonna get some chicken in a pan in just a moment and some rice on the boil. Got some jasmine rice. You worked about 70 grams per person, and this container is like a 1 litre container. Roughly you can convert volume to mass. So this is about 1 kilo of rice, which is going to be more than you need for 10 people, but we'll have leftovers, which is always a good thing. So give that a quick rinse. So you just swish it around in some water. The water will get cloudy, and then you can strain it off and it's good to go. Pop it in the pot. And it's 1 to 1.5 of rice to water. So I'll use one of those for the rice. We'll do 1.5 of these of water and we're good to go. So go 1.5. There we go. So we'll get that up to the boil and then put a lid on it, turn it off and leave that be, and that will be beautiful. So I've got some chicken thigh fillet today, working to 1 per person, which is quite generous. But that's what we're all about, being generous to our lovely guests. Now, not all of this is going to fit into 1 pan, so we're going to work to probably 5 to a batch. We'll see how we go. So I'll season the first 5. All right, so that's sizzling nicely. That's good to go. Pop the chicken in. The main flavour component today is going to be our curry paste. Now we're going to make a heap of this, so we're going to have lots of spare curry paste to use for future meals. I'll put up the exact quantities online, but you really can just sort of eyeball this most of the time. The main gist of it is you're just going to put a bunch of ingredients into a blender and let the blender do all the work, really. So we got some chili, got some galangal, which is a peppery cousin of ginger. Now, depending on your blender, you might not have to chop too much with these. I've got a stock standard $15 blender, so it's not too powerful. I'll give my things a bit more of a chop, but if you have one of those fancy high-powered things, then you won't have to chop this too much. This is tumeric. So I got the fresh stuff. So I'm honestly just eyeballing this. It looks about right, and we can always taste later and adjust if you need to. I got some beautiful kaffir lime leaves. These just came off a tree around the corner from here. You can get them in fruit and veg shops usually. They're a little bit pricey per kilo, but you don't really need too many. They are such a unique flavour. Really worthwhile. If you can't find them, just you can substitute out for some lime zest to zest that up. It's not the same flavour profile, but it's going to lend your dish notes of freshness and deliciousness, and it's all good. Don't mind the wobbly table. I literally set this up for the video. Normally I'll be chopping over here, but we're doing our best to try and get a video-friendly cooking experience for everyone. So just excuse the wobbly table. Now I'm just going to tend to this chicken. It's sizzling along nicely, and it's got a good colour underneath. That's really beautiful. So we're good to flip that. I'll season this side a bit. Salt, pepper. Turn that over. So I've got lemongrass to the chop. Lemongrass. This is such a beautiful, beautiful herb. Is it a herb? Grass. The very ends are quite woody. quite difficult to chop. You can use that in a cup of tea if you like, lemongrass tea. We'll chop through the white section all the way up until it starts to getting kind of fibrous. So up around this bit, it starts getting fibrous and stringy, and that's not very usable in the curry. It texturally just starts to catch on the teeth. But we can still use this to make a lemongrass tea, just to sip before you go to bed tonight, if you like. Yeah. Beautiful colours. Such an amazing array of flavours going on here. Love it. Pop in some garlic. Minced garlic. Already mixed with a bit of oil. And a bit of oil, just help things move along. When I say a bit, what's that, like 200 mils, 300 mils, something like that. I'll put the recipe up. Get this blending. Give it a shake if it's not quite getting through. Almost there. Another shake. This is obviously not your most high-powered blender, but you know, it's soldiering on. It's getting there. Looking good. Thai yellow curry paste ready to go. Beautiful yellow colour. You can see lots of clumps of herbs and chilli going on. So you can usually work to like 1 tablespoon is good for 1 to 2 people, is roughly what we're going for. I'll pull these out. They're unlikely to be cooked through, but the main thing is that we've got this lovely colour. We seal them off nicely, and we can finish cooking them in the curry once we've got that going. I'll keep the pan going. Like it's got a bit of chicken crust in the bottom, which I'll just keep building on with the next round of chicken. If it's starting to get really smoky, just give it a clean, but we're looking pretty good. I'll switch this chicken around a bit, pick up some of that flavour, and just kind of build that flavour as we go, really. I'd rather not admit it, but I forgot to turn the rice pot on, so I'm like 10 minutes behind on where the rice should be. Now, not to worry, I want to keep cooking. I intended on using the same pot to make the curry, but just because I want to keep on moving through the cooking, let's say I've got guests arriving in 40 minutes, let's just keep going. The rice is still a good 15-20 minutes away. We've got this smaller pot, that will get us going. Like, it's not going to be big enough to hold the whole curry, but at least get the heat on and cook what we can in there. So high heat, bit of oil. Not too much, but there's quite a bit of oil in that curry paste, which will be coming in handy. Check on this chicken. A little bit more, so it's just a little bit pale. Just needs a couple more minutes just to get that nice golden brown coating. Then pop over a couple of cans of coconut cream. Now, as far as I'm aware, the difference between coconut cream and milk is simply water. I might be wrong, but I mean, it's what the ingredients say. So coconut cream, generally the ingredients would say coconut, and coconut milk, it would say coconut and water. So my thinking is just get the coconut cream, more bang for your buck, and then add how much water you want to add. So I'm going to work to 1 can is good amount of sauce for 3 people, maybe 4, but 3 generously. So I've got 3 cans, 9 to 10 people easily. Just talking about volume, like if you're thinking about like amount of sauce you want to put in the bowl at the end of it. This bit of coconut cream in the lids, you can just wash off into a pot or a bowl or whatever you got lying around. Alright, keep this chicken. Yeah, that's good now. Flip that over. Our little pot here is sizzling away, so let's start adding the curry paste. So there's 2 people, 4, 6, 8, 10 people, and 1 more just in case a few stragglers rock up, leftovers, whatever. So we're going to cook in the pot here and get a lovely fragrance going on, which is going to really make the difference for how the curry tastes at the end. Remember, you've got garlic and ginger in there, and when you cook those, you get a lovely sweet flavour. Batch number 2 of chicken. Again, they're not going to cook through. We'll come back and finish cooking them in the curry. Okay, now I'm going to wash this pan a bit. It's just getting a bit dark, so I'll wash this off a bit. You can keep that. That's a nice dark chicken stock right there. Let's put that in a container of some sort. Strain it off. Ooh, look at that. Beautiful. So we can use that. It's going to be quite rich. You can add more water to that. Make a little chicken soup, or just next time a recipe calls for chicken stock, that's the stuff to use. Pop in the freezer if you don't want to use it straight away. Alright, so clean pan, a bit more oil. Get it back up to temperature. The last batch of chicken. Meanwhile, find a wooden spoon. There we go. Stir with the intention of keeping it from sticking from the bottom of the pot. So this is pretty hot. I'm going to turn it down just a bit. So it's really getting a lovely dark colour. You can compare that to what was in the blender. Quite a rich looking sauce going on. I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to add the coconut cream to that now. Let's get that going. So curry sauce is now officially underway. I haven't lost too much time despite not having my rice boiling by now. Stir that through. It's going to need salt because there's no salt in that curry paste. Final batch of chicken, in she goes, nice and hot. Now just visually when I'm looking at this curry paste, this curry sauce, sorry, it's looking a bit pale. Have a taste. Yeah, it needs more flavour. So I'm going to add some more paste to that. That's the thing with cooking, like just trust what you see and smell and taste, and roll with it. So I'm just going to get another small pot on. My last pot. I've got all 3 pots out now. And just cook off a bit more of this curry paste and add it to that sauce. That one needs a bit longer. Look, I've got 2 that are good to turn. One needs a bit longer. That's fine. I'll put that over the hot side. Again, just roll with what you see. There's a hot side on the pan. That's fine. Just use it accordingly. Okay, rice is boiling. Pop a lid on that. Turn it off or right down. I've got the luxury of electric elements. I'm just going to turn it right down to 1 just so it's got something to keep it moving, but turn it off as well. Alright, trying to add a bit more flavour to my sauce. And I'm just going to add a little bit of veg to the curry as well. I've just got carrots and sweet potato that I had in the fridge. It can be zucchini, cucumber. Oh look, anything goes really. It's all going to be delicious. If it's going to be fresh things like cucumber or capsicum or spring onions, you don't even worry about cooking them. You just slice them up and have them ready to pop through the curry at the very end. I'll probably do that a little bit with the carrots. So whatever you're going to do, just chop accordingly. So I'm going to slice these carrots thinly with the intention of just adding them at the very end, knowing that because they're thin, they won't need too much to cook. Now the sweet potato I'll cook in the curry. It's going to need about 15 minutes usually. However large or small you cut it determines the cooking time. So I'm going to cut roughly 1 centimetre dices, I reckon, and those will, it should probably take about 10-15 for these. All right, last of the chicken coming up. It's pretty lush. Finish this pan. A bit more chicken stock. Alright, just some more curry paste, which I'll add to the sauce. Just a bit of water just to help me pour it in. That's a bit of a better colour now, a little bit darker. Alright, so that pot looks big enough to throw a bit of sweet potato in there. It's looking pretty thick. Once we've got this pot free, we'll add a bit of water to it. Add some salt to it now as well. It's really just to taste. See where we're at. Yeah, that's coming along nicely. We've got some fresh veg to go on top. So I've got some bean sprouts. Here's my bit of water added to the coconut cream lids. Bean sprouts and some fresh coriander. Fresh coriander. So I've just washed this before. Pluck out any black or brown leaves. Quick chop through. If I lean against the wobbly table, it doesn't wobble so much. Good tip for those of you with wobbly tables. So we'll toss this all through. Woohoo. I'm going to squeeze a bit of lime juice through this just because that'll be tasty. You can even serve this on the table in a nice little bowl if you like, and your guests can garnish their own curry, whatever your style is. I'll get a fancy bowl, how about it? And that's ready on the table. I'll squeeze a bit of lime juice into this curry sauce now as well. Just really gives it that lovely lift. Citrus is just amazing. You can't go wrong with citrus. Lemon, lime, orange, grapefruit, it's all just beautiful flavours. Makes food taste fresh and alive. So I'm going to dare to take this lid off, let out this precious steam. Confident that it's cooked. Confident, so confident. Yeah, that was good. Lovely, fluffy, cooked jasmine rice. Did I mention it's jasmine rice? This is jasmine. Some fragrant rice. All right, so we can pop this into a pot, into a bowl, sorry. The great transfer is upon us. So just Now we can comfortably hold our curry. Okay, final steps. We're going to add this chicken to our curry. Slice it all up. So you can see some of it is a bit raw. Completely fine. The main point is that we're getting that lovely sealed flavour, and then that last bit of our chicken will cook in the hot sauce of the curry. Now, this is a chicken thigh, so you really don't have to worry about overcooking it. In fact, it just gets more tender as you cook. Eventually, it will shred apart, which you might prefer to keep a bit of texture. This is what I'm going for, is just lovely moist slices of chicken thigh fillet. In she goes. And I'll put these carrots in now too. We're not too far off. They only need a couple of minutes. So does the chicken. And we're pretty much ready to plate up. Let's check the sauce flavour, see if it needs anything. It's pretty good. This one's fairly mild, and the recipe I'll write for you is pretty mild. If you prefer it with more spice, I recommend just putting slices of chilli to one side so your guests can make that call. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. It's pretty good. And let's pull up a big chunk of chicken that would have been raw when it went in, just to make sure. All right. So I'm just feeling that. Now, the flesh just feels a little bit soft still. What I mean by that is you can actually do this little trick. It actually works really well. So if you do that, then tap that bit of your hand. That's for a steak medium rare. And this one is medium. This one is medium well. And that's well done. So for chicken, you want well done. You don't want any of the other ones. So we're looking for a fairly firm bit of meat. Any softness, it's raw, don't want to serve it. If you have a thermometer, that's ideal. So with the thermometer, you want to be above 70 degrees. For chicken, just play it safe, 75 degrees or more, and then yeah, it's definitely cooked. Chicken breast, you want to get it like, when chicken breast overcooks, you can taste it's quite chalky. So you want to hit that 75 to 80 degree mark, like bang on, like you should. That's the texture you're feeling for, like nice and firm, but not like stiff. Want a bit of, slight give to it. All right, checking a big piece of chicken again. All right, that's feeling good. That's nice and cooked now. That's lovely. All right, so we are good to go. You can serve up the table if you like. That's always my preference, is to serve on up. You got your bowl of rice, your curry, and your garnish. Or if you want to bowl up individually for your guests, go right ahead. Lovely rice. Some curry, make sure you get a good amount of chicken in there. Always being lovely and generous. A bit more sauce. And a bit of flourish of bean sprouts and coriander. Woohoo! Good to go. Extra lime for good luck. Really don't have to do this bit. I just can't help myself. I love citrus. All right, and there you have it. Beautiful Thai yellow chicken curry for 10 or more. Thanks for joining me today. I had fun cooking with you. I hope you learned something, and looking forward to seeing you again.